Let the games begin. We're going high and strong, bringing you all the highlights from the football games around the state.
New Haven County started with a couple of teams playing in the afternoon in New Haven.
Balls flying all over the place, all over the state, and we're bringing you all the action. Coming up now on CT Sports Now.
Well, hello again, everyone, and give me two claps and a Ric Flair. Woo! It's the high school football season. It's our first Friday night of 2018.
We had one game yesterday on Thursday, and what a schedule we had tonight. Some terrific games. Let's get right into the action. Let's not waste any time. A big matchup out of the FCAC. People wondering how Darienne's going to be after winning the state championship last year and losing some top seniors. Well, it looks like they're going to be just fine. Just ask Ridgefield about it. I mean, they were so relaxed about this, the Blue Wave, that, you know, start the game, they're just sitting around watching some television. No. They're looking at game film, getting ready for what will be the next play. Up 3-0. How about this connection? Cooper Hancock, T.J. Carnaccia. That's a strong catch, and he is not going to have it wrestled away from him at any point. This kid can play. That drive didn't result in a touchdown, but this connection, same two guys, it does result in a touchdown. The first touchdown of the game, the Blue Wave up 10-0 at that point. Ridgefield hanging in tough. They got this guy, Jackson Mitchell, who can play defense, he can play offense. Well, his quarterback, Owen Matthews, says, yeah, let's see your offense. Fires to him. Oh, this is a big, strong kid. He's Yukon bound. At this point, it's a 10-6 Darien lead. That was the only touchdown for Ridgefield. Hancock to Will Rollup. He fights for it, hauls it in, and holds on to it as well. That gives the Blue Wave a 17-6 lead. And, well, Darien ends the season, or starts the season, rather, the way they ended last season, with the victory. 30-6 is your final score. Darien will try to make it 2 wins in a row, playing at McMahon next week. Ridgefield will take on Stanford.
Shelton's home away from home while Finn Stadium renovated. Xavier High School, as Jeff Roy and his Gales hosting Cheshire. And how about the defense? It travels. Shelton's David Yakowitz, textbook on the coverage and the tackle. Cheshire with some solid defense as well. Look at the pursuit to the football, the forced fumble, and Jacob Dubois. Voila! He's there for the fumble recovery. Later in the second quarter, down 7-0, Cheshire's Jason Shamilla. Tough runner, finds room, and 35 yards on the touchdown jaunt, tying the game at 7. It went that way into the second half. Shelton comes up with a touchdown and a field goal and knocks off Cheshire. The Gales get the win at home, or on the road, but at home. 17-10 the final. Cheshire will be at Newtown next week. Shelton will take on Xavier, and that'll be in West Haven. Figure that one out.
Keeping track of all this. Well, we knew that would be a good one. It was. And how about this one? The defending Class L champs, Daniel Hand Tigers, taking on a young Hillhouse team. 2.5 minutes in the game, Phoenix Billings finds Christopher Bartosic. That's a 28-yard touchdown play. Boy, is he tough getting into the end zone, huh? Hand converts on the 2-point conversion to go up 8-0. Still in the first, Colin McCabe. You do not want to get in his way. A 6-yard touchdown run. Hand out in front, 14-0. 2 minutes later, it's Bartosic again, the target for Phoenix Billings. Could he get any more wide open? Wide open. A 48-yard touchdown reception. Hand up 21-0. How about McCabe, though? 3 touchdown runs in the game. Here's his third one. This was with 21 seconds before halftime. So 3 touchdowns, and Bartosic finished with 2. That was all in the first half. Hand goes on to win it. 43-6 is your final score. The Tigers opening the season, well, just the way they ended it last year, right? With a victory.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns, not bad, but let me show you South Windsor and East Hartford, a couple of Class AA playoff teams from a year ago. Raekwon Tompkins for the Hornets of East Hartford, finding some room, not to the left, but on the cutback. He has some quick feet. 7-yard touchdown run for Tompkins as East Hartford takes the lead. Now Tompkins with his athleticism on the run, zipping one to Mackay Pitts. Inside the 10, down to about the 5. Next play, Tompkins. You saw 3 touchdowns for Hand. How about 5 for Raekwon Tompkins and 150 yards rushing on the day? This kid can play quarterback. He plays safety at East Hartford. 8th in the state poll when it first came out. a few days ago. The Hornets roll over South Windsor, a 41-7 win. East Hartford gets the victory. They'll take on Connacht at home next week. South Windsor goes to Glastonbury.
Well, let's keep it going with a nice showdown out of the SEC. There are the Jesuits at Fairfield Prep taking the field to take on Notre Dame West Haven. Notre Dame West Haven trying to move the ball early, but Murray McCarthy, the big linebacker, is there for the Jesuits to make the interception, and the offense turns that defense into points. Douglas Harrison III, he's back from an injury, but he gets the ball over the end line. No, it wasn't a fumble. It was a touchdown indeed, and it was a Fairfield Prep lead. And then they add to it. You got that big guy Harrison. He can just flat out run the ball and run over people. That time he didn't have to, but it's a touchdown all the same, making it 14-0. Tell you what, Prep's defense really good in the first half. They just kept pulling off this. Interceptions. Peter Kavanaugh pulls down the interception here, and Fairfield Prep rolls in its opener 41-20 over a good Notre Dame West Haven Green Knight team. Norwich Free Academy will be up next for Prep, and another SEC ECC showdown will have Notre Dame West Haven hosting New London.
Harding High School has so much history surrounding it over the years, athletically and academically. And tonight, a big historical night for its football program, and we couldn't miss it.
Not any way where we're going to miss this. And Cody Jones going out there to Harding High School, where we've seen him play on a roughed-up field in an old school. Well, it's all new now, isn't it? One of our contributors right here at Sacred Heart University, Cody Jones.
That's right, Noah, all brand new. John Lewis Memorial Field over in Bridgeport opening this season. The first game played by Harding over there on that home turf. Also another first in this game, as you're going to see the stadium here. Amity head coach Craig Bruno is going to be coaching the first game of his career over there at Amity as well. We're going to pick this thing up in the second quarter. Amity already up 6-0 when the Spartans, Joseph DeGello, he's going to recover a fumble here, and he's taking it all the way for a touchdown. Amity's going to miss a two-point conversion on this play, but they're going to go up 12-0. Harding responds, though. Quarterback Kevin Bernards to Isaiah Hanley for a touchdown here. They're going to make a two-point conversion. They cut the deficit to 12-8. Amity's going to fire back, though. James Lobstein is going to throw it. Quarterback James Lobstein to Jacob Ledick. Great catch there, going down the sideline for the touchdown. Spartans are going to make a two-point conversion on that play as they go up 20-8 at that point in the second quarter, as Amity is going to go on to win by a final score of 26-8. Spartans are going to host Foreign next Friday, as Harding is going to take on Fitch also next Friday, as they're going to look for the first W in that brand new stadium. Guys, back to you.
All right, that was Cody. A win right there from Cody.
Well done by Cody.
Yes.
He's nothing but solid. And how about Craig Bruno picking up a win, first game back at Amity High School, right? He'd been a head coach at different programs.
Bunch of places,
a
won
bunch
state
of places.
titles.
He was with Staples last year as an assistant coach. All right, let's keep it moving here. A nice FCAC showdown and really solid defense. This game was all about defense. Talking about Wilton against Brian McMahon. This game played in Norwalk. Oh, yeah. The Wilton fans wearing their white, ready to go, and we didn't see a touchdown in the whole first half. We had a field goal, 3-0 in the third, and then here's our first touchdown. And wouldn't you know it, it comes on the defense. Tyler Previte picks up the loose ball and takes it in, and Wilton with a 9-0 lead. And I'm going to give you a little hint here. There were no offensive touchdowns. In fact, that was the only touchdown. Dylan Kennedy of the Warriors comes in and he makes a sack, a big fourth down play. And from there, really all Wilton had to do was kneel on the ball and run out the clock, which is exactly what they did. Wilton goes on to win it. 9-0 is the final score. How about that? Brian McMahon, which has a pounding running game, couldn't get it going against Wilton. Always a tough team. 9-0 Wilton with the victory.
Very impressive to get that W on the road.
And shutout fashion.
Yeah. Pretty fun and impressive first segment for our first Friday night of the high school football season here on CT Sports Now. We're going to take a quick break, but we have a ton of highlights coming up next, including a team with revenge on its mind and a new look in New London. It's all coming up next.
Welcome back to our studios at Sacred Heart University. Mark Robbins alongside, or I'm Noah Finns alongside Mark Robbins.
We're alongside
Either way,
each other.
we just work, right?
We're linked.
We have all these games between SEC teams and ECC teams.
Yeah.
A good one tonight, and what turned out to be a defensive battle in Hamden.
Yeah, a couple of teams that are looking to improve on the offensive end for sure after the preseason. Hamden getting a chance to open up at home. Tom Dyer's Green Dragons getting a look at the Fitch Falcons as you get a look at Hamden coming out of the field. Fitch, of course, undefeated in the regular season a year ago. Hamden on the punt, and the special teams for the Green Dragons breathing fire. Jeremy Jupiter jumps on the top of the football to get the recovery, and that sets up Jumping Jupiter. He gets in from 2 yards out in Hamden with a 6-0 lead. So the Falcons, well, this is a team, they're Falcons, but they love to run the football. And Hamir Stevens up the gut, a huge play, 43 yards into Hamden territory. But the Hamden defense stifling in this one. Miles Harris, a big play.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the interception, the athletic play from Harris, and that helps Hamden. Its defense does the trick, and at home, Hamden gets the victory and the shutout to boot. The Green Dragons are 1-0, a 6-0 victory in that SEC-ECC showdown over Fitch.
I had a 9-0 game, and you one-up me here. You raised me or take 3 away, a 6-0 game. But we still have more of these ECC, SEC, but we got to go all the way up to Norwich for that. And for that, we bring in our Eastern Connecticut reporter. It's always good to have Daniel Zampano in the house. Daniel, what you got?
Oh, it's great to be back. Football is back. It can't get any better than this. It's like Christmas Day for anybody around the state watching Connecticut high school football. We were up in Norwich tonight, and it's another one of those ECC-SEC matchups. The NFA Wildcats and the Xavier Falcons. Both teams replacing really good quarterbacks from a year ago. Shea McMahon away for NFA, and Xavier obviously replacing Penn State's own Will Levis. And NFA was fired up for this one, no question about it. They won it last year, a 40-37 shootout, but this time they did it with defense. And I got to tell you guys, we might be looking at a superstar here at defensive end in the making. Jonathan Pierre, this guy was all over the place. A monster, a big sack on 3rd down and long, and he's fired up. NFA takes over. Then the new quarterback, Elijah Parker, going to find Nolan McKenton underneath. Get up, young buck. There you go. He's going to take this one inside the 25-yard line, and NFA is in business 2 plays later. Parker going to find Andrew Cody, zipping it right over the middle, and he splits the defense. Gets in for 6. The first touchdown of the year for NFA belongs to him. It's a 6-0 Wildcat advantage. Next drive, how about 1th by air, 1th by ground. Kevin Pomeroy, little 28-yard scoop, and he's going to get to the pylon to put NFA up by 2 touchdowns. NFA would get a big fumble return at the end of the game to be able to secure a victory. 26-13. For the Wildcats. Great opening win for them. They are at Prep. Tough game for them next week. Xavier plays Shelton. All right, a little bit down 395 is Montville, and they were taking on Stonington. Montville hasn't even scored a point on Stonington in 2 years, but tonight the defense was all over the place. Name of the year candidate right here, Colt McCracken, with a great sack there for you. The Indian front seven just going crazy tonight. They were chasing down the quarterback all night. Zach Neverett getting the takedown here. It's 14-7 Montville at the half. Stonington, though, going to get a big play here coming up. They gave it to Riley Burnside, and he's just going to do a little bob and weave throughout basically the entire defense, trying to get him setting up into midfield. Look at him go. And you got to keep your pants on, though. You can't get too excited. But Stonington could not manage to finish the drive. Montville took over, and Dominic Emmons, that's a first down, and then they give it to him a few plays later, and Dominic Emmons, that's a touchdown and a bullish run by him. Montville was all pumped up after this one, a 28-7 beating defensively, really, from the Indians as they take out Stonington. Montville at Lyman Hall next week, while Stonington will get a home game, their first of the season, against Brantford. It was an awesome night. NFA's defense looks really scary, and so does Montville's, but we got plenty more coming up around the state here on CT Sports Now.
All right, Daniel, thank you so much.
Good stuff
from out east, out in the southeastern corner.
You know, some people thought that coming into the season with Mike Montano moving on from North Haven, that maybe North Haven would struggle a little bit.
I did.
Guys like you were wrong, apparently. North Haven, West
What else
Haven.
is new?
Yeah, this game being played at Ken Strong. Let's go right out there. North Haven taking on West Haven. Opening night, all the guys are coming out and they're fired up. It's great opening night, isn't it, for all the teams? All right, West Haven scored quickly, but Nick Dodge and the Indians come right back. Dodge bulls his way into the end zone, making it 7-6. West Haven still with the lead, but in the second quarter, the Indians at the 1. Dodge, he's not looking to escape anybody. He just goes right through you for the touchdown. 12-6 now. North Haven out in front. Next drive, Jordan Barrios of West Haven. He responds with a touchdown dive, making it 13-12. Excuse me. With 30 seconds left on the clock, Barrios throws a fade here for West Haven, finds Demerick Blackford to put the score 19-12 at halftime. But in the second half, mid-fourth quarter, Nick Dodge runs for yet another touchdown, and after a 2-point conversion was good, North Haven comes away with the win. Final score, 20-19. I'm told it's the first time North Haven has ever beaten West Haven. How about them apples?
It took Noah's breath away. Cromwell, Portland hosting the Rams of Rockville, and Rockville on the road doesn't care. First quarter, and Nick Foley with the touchdown on the dive, and the Rams have a 7-0 lead. Another Nick for Cromwell, Portland. Nick Wright on the receiver screen, the bubble screen, and it's the right play as Wright gets the touchdown. The Panthers have tied this thing up at 7. And then defensively for Cromwell, Zach Sear, big play, intercepts the Rockwell pass and takes it deep into Rams territory, setting up Bryce Karstetter at quarterback for Cromwell, Portland. On the scramble and in for the touchdown, 20-7 at this point. Cromwell, Portland on top. They're going to add one more, Karstetter and his buddy Brian Lockwood, as Cromwell, Portland locks up a victory. 27-14 at that point. 35-21 is your final as the Panthers get on the board in the win column. 35-21 is your final.
All right, we have to take a quick break, but we have a ton more high school football coming up. But don't worry, we haven't forgotten about you college athletes as well. That too, coming up next with all your high school footage. Coming up next on CT Sports. Welcome back, CT Sports, now on Vantage Sportsnet. Talking to the head coach at Amistad yesterday, and he was saying he was a little concerned about his team because they didn't get in any scrimmages prior to the season, and then they got to travel up to Newington.
Yeah, they did that, and the Indians were ready for this matchup against the Wolves. Let's check out what happened here. Amistad rolling right in, as Noah talked about. Here come the Wolves trying to howl early. Indians, you talk about howling. This group fired up and ready to go. Opening quarter, sophomore quarterback Nick Pestricello dropping back and looking deep for Isaiah Ciarcia. Oh, no, he didn't. Yes, he did. Look at it again. Ciarcia on the stretch out dive. A fabulous grab, and even his student, his classmates were very impressed. Later on, Dylan Ness Fair getting loose and scoring, and it really wasn't fair. Newington, with that experience and the talent, goes on to a victory, 41-0 over the Wolves of Amistad.
All right, the Foreign Lions have a new head coach. Tom Drew on the sidelines for these guys, and in the first quarter against Wilbur Cross, most of the yardage accounted for by penalties. It was flat out awful, but then the Lions wake up. There you go, Andrew Janik to Richard Piscatelli. That's a 50-yard touchdown play. Foreign has the lead, and you know what? I think they figured, we're not getting anything running the ball. Let's just keep throwing the ball. And so a little later in the game here, Janik this time to William Phelan, and he hauls in a 40-yarder. And then, right, you get into the second half. I leave. and the Governors scored 2 touchdowns to win it by 14-13. Isn't that my luck? 14-13, a good win for the Governors. They're going to host New Milford next. Lions will be playing at Amity.
All right, let's get over to the Southwest Conference, and for that, a big matchup in Monroe. We're going to bring in one of the student contributors here that you've seen so often from Sacred Heart, Ryan Sanudo. What do you have tonight for us, Ryan?
Yeah, Mark, I have for you guys Brookfield at Massac. Now, if you like running, this is the game for you. As you see, this is the first game for both teams. Now, Brookfield's junior running back, Nicholas Henderson, getting the handoff and runs straight up the middle for the touchdown. You're going to be seeing a lot of him later in these highlights. Now, Massac responds. Senior quarterback Thomas Giuliano hurls it to Hunter Pompa, who runs it in for 6, extra point good. Now, Giuliano was roughed up in Massac's next possession, but Kevin Luke, the backup, he steps in, and this kid was up for the challenge. Beautiful moves. That's a 22-yard rushing touchdown, bringing Massac to a 14-7 lead. Now, Nicholas Henderson, I talked to you about him earlier. Well, this is him, being patient and quick with the head of steam. That's another touchdown, and he could not be stopped in this game. In the first drive of the third quarter, both teams tied at 14. Just sit back and relax and enjoy Nicholas Henderson running for 91 yards. This kid was incredible. He would get another touchdown in the next drive. He'd have over 200 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns for the day. And Henderson, he needs some air after this game. He'd be okay, though, a little bit shaky. I mean, you can't blame him, but he would have 4 touchdowns, 200 yards, like I said, and Brookfield goes on to win by the score of 42-21. And guys, this is a great game, and if you love running, like I said, this is the game for you. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Ryan. Big stuff, big win for Brookfield. How about the defending in the college level, the Northeast Conference champs, Central Connecticut, its home opener against Lincoln University out of Pennsylvania. Drew, Jean, Guillaume, all 3 of them scoring for the Blue Devils on their first series. And then the defense for Central Connecticut, young but salty. Tajik Bagley, former star at Ansonia. Look at the ball pursuit there. And then Central, its second series of the game as it was throughout. Jake Dogala, 4th-year starting quarterback, to the former Windsor star Courtney Rush, who is now in a rush to get to the end zone. 58 yards on that scoring play and a 55-0 win for Central. The Blue Devils now 1-1. They'll take on Columbia a week from tomorrow at home.
The Central Connecticut or Southern Connecticut State University Owls supposed to play yesterday. Lightning postponed the game to today, so they came out looking like they really wanted to play. Great opening drive. It converted a 4th down, touchdown called back, but they powered through it. Eli Parks, a 39-yard run to inside the 10. The drive is capped up by Matt Zanzaro from Wethersfield, getting a 6-yard touchdown run here, and Southern is out to the lead. Defense keeping Bentley at bay for just about the whole first half, but in the second half, Bentley's able to come back and pull out the 24-22 victory. That's a tough loss for the Owls, who've gotten out to a 14-0 lead.
All right, we got a quick break, then a Hall of Fame play of the night right after this.
Hey guys, we've done run out of time. We thank you for tuning in. Good football night.